it's not working here. Excellent connection. All right, here I am live. This is the review for Bio 1140. Our test 2 is coming up. You actually have it due at the end of spring break, so you got a little extra time to take it. Yeah, if you can tell by my voice, I'm having a rough day. My whole family's been sick, and well, after a week and having my daughter coughing in my face, I finally caught it. So if I'm not my normal, totally lively self tonight, I apologize. So the way I want to run this review session is I posted a study guide. I've got it pulled up right here. And if you guys have any questions about the test or the study guide or the material on the test, you can hit me up in the top chat. I checked my email, didn't have any emails. So it seems like you guys are doing pretty good. But I can tell you that test 2 is pretty much like test 1. It's multiple choice questions. Except there's a couple of times that... thanks, Alyssa. I'll feel better soon. It's just a matter of time. The only thing different about this test over test 1, you still got all the multiple choice questions, but one of the differences is that I have some matching. So there's going to be some vocabulary words, some concepts, or some like organelles specifically, and then with those organelles you need to match it with their function, and that seemed to work pretty well in one of my other classes. Okay, so here's a good time. You can hit me up on the top chat. See, it's working. I guess you guys can hear me, and what's left of my voice today. I'm glad I'm giving a test in my other class. I don't have to give a lecture. So hit me up with any questions you have about the material or test or anything that you're doing on. The test is available. I mean, you can even look at the test if you want. There's a 75-minute time limit on there. Okay, what do you guys got for questions here? This test is going to be on the macromolecules, so make sure you know the macromolecules, that you know what a carbohydrate looks like and what it does. And it's more than just energy storage, right? I mean, carbohydrates are used for structure. Think cellulose around a cell wall of a plant. They're used for cell-cell recognition. When our bodies break down carbohydrates, we use that for different types of precursor molecules. So carbohydrates are a little bit more than energy storage. Know that, things like proteins. Proteins are the workhorses of the cells. They have a lot of different functions, including protein enzymes that speed up chemical reactions, both anabolic and catabolic. Know that lipids are, mostly carbon and hydrogen. They're hydrophobic. And they have also a lot of different things that they do inside of a cell. They're forming membranes. They're forming sterols, which are a type of like cholesterol that gets inside your membranes to keep it from becoming too runny, too fluid. And they also form hormones like testosterone and estrogen, which are used for signaling molecules, hormones, long distance communication. And of course, they form the phospholipids, which forms our cell membranes, which is remarkably important for us. So lipids are important. And then, of course, there's the DNA and the RNA. And DNA, stores genetic information. And RNA is a quite remarkable molecule. It stores genetic information. And like a protein, it's single-stranded, so it can be folded into a lot of different structures. And being able to be folded into a lot of different structures basically allows it to have a lot of different functions. That's why proteins are so versatile. So those things are important. And remember that all proteins are made inside of ribosomes. And then beyond our macromolecules, the carbs, the lipids, the proteins, and nucleic acids, we have various organic molecules like the vitamins, like vitamin C that we need as well. So make sure you have all that, because I'm definitely asking those questions on the test. I had a lot of fun rewriting chapter 5 on cells and chapter 6 too for this semester. It's really fun, kind of like really hitting home on cellular biology. The cell is not just focusing on the organelles, which you will need to know the organelles and their function. So know like a mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell. Sorry about that. I'm pretty pathetic tonight. That the mitochondria, they make the majority of our ATP. And you'll also need to know like what the endomembrane system does, the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi body. But I went a little bit more in the part on the cell. I talked a lot about prokaryotes and just how important prokaryotes are for us, right? Like, yeah, they're bacteria, they're structurally simple. Don't call them primitive. They evolve photosynthesis and cellular respiration. They fix nitrogen into our environments. They help decompose things. They're like an integral part of our world. And even with you, you've got trillions of bacteria that live in and on you. You have a microbiome. And that microbiome is really important for your health and your well-being. And your environment and your genetics both affect your microbiome. So just like your energy, like how much do you exercise? Where do you live? Who do you live with? Do you live with dogs? Do you eat a lot of Pop-Tarts or do you eat a lot of vegetables? I know, it's pretty wild. All of those things affect our microbiome, which also affect our health as well. So that was really fun talking about that. And then, of course, with the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, with eukaryotes being larger and structurally more complex, I also talked about the cytoskeleton, the microtubules, the actin filaments, and the keratin fibers. You'll want to know what each ones of those do. Like the microtubules are very important for like pulling apart the chromosomes during mitosis. And in fact, a lot of our cancer drugs actually target microtubules, to help treat cancer. So there's a lot to be learned there. And then at the very end of that, I talked a little bit about prokaryotic diversity. Like most of the oxygen in our atmosphere that you and I breathe comes from eukaryotes, right? Whether it's from plants or algae living in the ocean. So incredibly important. And then I've got the study guide here. You can see all the parts, the ribosomes, nucleus, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, vacuoles. Make sure you know those. That's part of the matching that's on the test. And there's also some with the macromolecules. Chapter 6, I spent a bit of time reworking that chapter. It's like I had it published, ready for you guys, and then I woke up literally one morning and started just kind of looking at it, and I'm like, I have a better idea for this. And so I removed 3 pages, which is always good, shorter. But one of the cool things about the macromolecules is that, the one on energy and metabolism and membranes is really realizing that cells are a system. Life is a system. And systems are a set of interconnecting components surrounded by a boundary. And for cells, life, because cells are the basic life, that cell membrane is our boundary. That's what separates the cell from the outside world. And you have all these chemical reactions. Life is an emergent property of chemistry. I know not everybody wants to think about chemistry on a Wednesday night, but you start thinking about we are an emergent property. We're a complex system. We're greater than the sum of our parts. And that system's boundary is the membranes. And one thing that those chemical reactions need for the emergent property of life to have is energy. Energy animates life, right? Without a constant supply of energy, there can be no life. And it's those chemical reactions that extract energy from our environment and make us make a cell complex. And that's what's really important about that. So there's that connection between energy and our cell metabolism, which is chemical reactions. And then that cell membrane, which is the barrier, it has it's made up of phospholipids. And because it's a phospholipid, it's got an exterior that is hydrophilic, that interacts with water, and the interior is hydrophobic, that doesn't interact with water. And it gives that membrane something called selective permeability. And that selective permeability is what helps the cells regulate what comes in and what goes out of those cells. And like I said, you just can't have everything coming in and out willy-nilly because cells are creating order. They're maintaining, homeostasis. So things that can cross that cell membrane are like carbon dioxide and water, but your electrolytes cannot. And cells can regulate those electrolytes through facilitated diffusion and active transport and do things like create membrane potentials, which every cell on this planet creates and maintains membrane potentials. And they use that to store energy to do work. They store energy just like a battery does. We use our batteries and energy for all kinds of things to do work, and cells do the exact same thing. So that connection between the membranes and potential energy and energy flows and chemical reactions to me are really, really interesting. So I got a question about how big the test is. Well, I think it's like 46 questions, 45. I forget exactly. There's those matching questions. They're worth, I think, they're worth 1 point for each matching. and that's about it. So it's almost the exact same size as, well, basically the exact same size as the last test. Well, I kind of covered all the material, just in a nutshell that's going to be on this test. And if there's any specific questions, let me know. If you've got anything about from the study guide or test questions you're dying to know about, let me know. If not, I'm probably going to hang up here and end it. Go get something to drink and relax again. I've been kind of laying down for most of the day. I'm glad my girls are getting better. My wife is, we're both sick here. But any other questions here? Well, I don't see any questions popping up. All right, I guess you guys got this, right? The nice thing about being online is it is on Respondus. What about question 10? What's question 10? Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing, Renee. That's a really good question to ask. That's kind of what I was getting at the heart at with the chapter 6, the importance of chemistry to life. Life is about chemistry. Life is an emergent property of a bunch of chemical reactions. And, the idea about chemistry in life is, it's our metabolism. And this is that specific thing that you're asking about. Metabolism is the sum of all the chemical reactions in our body. If you are eating a pizza and you break down the fats and the carbs in that pizza, those are catabolic reactions. You're breaking down things to release energy and get building blocks. And then the other side of catabolic reactions are the anabolic reactions, or the other side of metabolism. And these are reactions that require energy and building blocks to make more complex molecules. And so that's the chemistry of life. You're breaking things down and building things up to extract energy. And then the other one is that is also the redox reactions, which is the moving of the electrons. So whenever you're breaking down carbohydrates, you're stripping the electrons off the carbon and you're giving them to oxygen to go make water and carbon dioxide, right? So these are redox reactions, and you think electrons is electricity, and as you move these electrons around, you're moving the energy around in the systems as well. So when it comes to your questions about, is a test posted and when is it due, I go to Canvas right here. Everything's on there. It should be on there. Let's make sure. Yep. Test 2, lockdown browser, up, running. It says 102 points. Hey, those 2 points are bonus. It's only going to be out of 100. And yeah, they're both due March 19th. That's an actual date. Yeah, definitely. Take spring break, get caught up on some things. In fact, if you want to take any of the older quizzes, what I'm gonna do is basically make those quizzes, give everybody an extension, but everybody that did them on time, I'm going to go through after on Sunday, give everybody that finished things on time bonus points, and then I'll give extensions after that so people can complete it. Yeah, same as last time, 75 minutes. Yep, same format. I'm not changing any of the formats for anything. All right. Looks like you guys have questions about the format of the test, but not too much about the material on the test. Like I said, 75 minutes. User Respondus lockdown is due March 19th. So if you get it done this Sunday, fantastic. If it's due next, a week and a half, so you have a little extra time. So about that, I've already answered that. No, man, it's like 45 or 44. It's all multiple choice with a couple matching. Those questions really don't help you prepare for the test. Studying the material. I told you it's mostly multiple choice with a couple matching. And there's matching, like I said, that's what are the organelles, what are their functions, what are the macromolecules, what are their functions. All right, let's see here. I'm on a little bit of a delay here with my thing, so I can catch stuff before if anybody bombs us here, I can catch it. So, anybody have any other questions here? All right, I don't see anything popping up here. Well, I tell you what, you guys. Yeah, this is the video review. No, it's the same. I don't just copy questions from the quiz. The quiz questions are focused on the chapters, and they but the questions, I'm not going to cut and paste questions from the quiz for the test. Material is still the same. The nature of the questions are still the same, but I'm not going to just copy a question from a quiz to a test. They got to be different. And yeah, no, this is the video review. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm just checking the top chat here, see if anybody else is coming in. Yeah, sorry if anybody's buffering. I have Starlink. It started out really fast, and then they slowed it down. I don't know what happened. For the amount of money I pay for it, I'm ready to switch, but I don't have any other options. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome for the study guide. Yeah, I hope that helps. Oh, yeah, you're totally welcome. I'll have study guides for each of the remaining 2 tests. And going forward, I'm going to change the class up a little bit in terms of when the due dates are. I'm going to keep all the due dates basically the same. If you complete them by the due date, you'll get full credit plus bonus. But if you get behind, you can still finish everything for full credit. You just won't get the bonus points. Yeah, you guys are more than welcome. Thanks for jumping in tonight. And like I said, I know I feel like I'm trying to hop off, but oh, and thanks for the likes, guys. I really appreciate that. I'm feeling pretty low right now. I can barely talk. All right, you're welcome. It's always nice to know that you guys like this. All right, if you have any questions about the test as you're taking it, as always, give me a screenshot or hit me after the next time, and then after that screenshot or after your question, we can always deal with that with your test question. So don't worry about it while you're taking the test. Just take a note of it, take a picture, and we can talk about it later. So, just answer the question the best you can, move on. We'll deal with it later. Don't sweat it. Okay. Yeah, no, I tell you what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna go ahead and open up all the other quizzes and stuff, and let everybody go ahead and finish them, complete them. It's like people like you, man. We miss things, we miss deadlines. Life gets in the way. This is an online course. I'm gonna let you open it up. Just give me a couple days to get on that. I'm gonna probably just sleep for a couple days, and I gotta go give another test tomorrow. But by this weekend, I'll see who else completed everything. And once I complete everything. Once I see who's ever completed everything, I'll give you bonus points for that, and then I'll open everything up so you can complete it if you've missed something. No big deal. All right. All right. I will see you guys later. You're so welcome, Aid. No worries. No worries. Trying to help you guys out. I notice a lot of people in this class are falling behind, and man, life just gets in the way of us sometimes. We get sick. We got families. We got kids. We got work. We got family, we got all these things, distracting us. So I understand, I get it. We can be flexible in this class. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. And like I said, if you have any test questions, don't hesitate to hit me up with your questions. Skip that question, take a screenshot of it, answer it as best you can. We'll talk about it after the test. Don't worry about it. All right. Yeah, you have a nice night too, guys. All right. Y'all take it easy.